Jeff and Chris Corbett, Store 85 for Tint World. We are in North Chesterfield, Richmond, Virginia, and we've been open about 7 weeks now. We have been in the fleet industry, me specifically, for about 23 years. And we were interested in working with someone that had a parallel industry, and Tint World came highly recommended. And one of my partners in that industry opened up a Tint World in Jacksonville, North Carolina. When we did our discovery day,
when we went down to Florida,
we found that the management staff was not only knowledgeable about their product, but about the larger industry. And we had a camaraderie there that we felt like these were people that we wanted to be in business with. They cared about individual franchisees. Upon touring their headquarters, we saw that the staff was engaging with people in the field already, but largely there was again, it goes back to camaraderie. There was a relationship there between the home office staff and the national group and their franchisees, so that you felt like you were actually a member of a team rather than a cog in a wheel.
Yes.
So the training that they provide, I think is really good. I've been in many businesses, and I have yet to see a business that was this involved, making certain that people within the company had a good idea, not only of what the product is, but how it does what it does, why it does what it does, and really making certain that you know the product. You don't have to have the industry experience when you come in, but by the time you get here, you will.
And once we open, we've been open a couple of weeks, and then Jeremy came back up here for a whole nother week. 8 to 6, Monday through Friday, he was here with us when we were open. So we really had hands-on experience when people would come in and ask, off-the-cuff questions. Jeremy was here kind of holding our hand through it. It was very helpful.
And it was good to be able to see an expert answer questions within the confines of our store and with the context of our store, make suggestions about things that would be helpful maybe on store layout, on product placement, on ways to engage on social media. So there's just a whole bunch of training that we receive that is super helpful. I guess I play the role of big picture CEO. I do most of the social media. I do the marketing because I have experience in fleet. I sort of direct some of the ways in which we may want to go. But Chris really manages the day-to-day operations.
Well, I was in HR and payroll for 30 years before coming here. So obviously I help hire and do the payroll, keep track of the money. I help up front, I answer phone calls. Bill and I are here every day, 6 days a week, making sure everything's running smoothly.
I'm here every day too.
Yeah, he's here every day too. It's super clean, it's comfortable, it's inviting. The staff is exceptionally professional.
And the environment that we built, the first thing people say on our write-ups or reviews or anything else is, man, that place was clean and the people were so nice and the showroom was really cool. And we wanted this to be an experience. At the end of the day, when you're a B2C or when you're selling directly to customers, the experience is one of the biggest parts of it. Like, what do they feel like when they come in? Is it something that they have to do, like taxes, or is it something that they want to do, like a passion and an interest? And we want Tint World to be the latter. That's another thing that Tint World was very helpful with. They placed us, they talked to me because I've lived here for 39 years. I know the neighborhood, I know the city, and they listened to me, but they also found places within what I said would be the primary targets. They found the right location. Issue being that it was a lighting company that the building hadn't been remodeled since the early 70s. So that was an issue. It was also not an automotive shop, but we had the vision, they encouraged it, and they got us where we needed to be. And I think we got a very large shop that people enjoy coming into, and it's well placed in the community, and that's with a great deal of help from Tint World. Our plans have always been to be multi-store owners. Tint World has encouraged that. They've also been helpful in a long-term build-out rather than just selling off franchise spots to increase their own footprint. They've helped us make a very thoughtful approach to a long-term growth plan. We want to have 3 or 4 stores. I think 4 is our goal. We kind of know where they are, and we've talked that through, and Tint World's been very helpful.
The Tint World support program has been super and crucial. They're very responsive. I mean, telephone calls, they always answer emails. I'm a question person. If I have a question, I call, I don't guess. So I'm constantly bothering people, and they're very courteous, and they know their business. So they tell us what we need to know. They've been very, very helpful. And like I said, when they send corporate people down, not only did they send Jeremy down, they sent Peter down. Their corporate trainer. We had a week of the 2 installers for the setup. Then we have a week of Peter, who trained on how to detail, how to ceramic coat, how to use the plotter. And then we had a week of Jeremy, who came in once we were open and running, where he could really go, this is how you write this ticket up. So I think they do a super job with that.
I do too.
Definitely. And the marketing, they're very helpful with how they want us to market, and they've been spot on as far as Facebook, Google, because we ask every customer when we check them out, how did you hear about us? And it's 90% Facebook, Google, and then the sign on the road. So the other good thing is when they picked this spot, we had a sign on a major thoroughfare. And I mean, a ton of people I just saw your sign, as basic as that is. So
when people come in and they see the name Tint World, and they're in the door and they're doing tint, it opens up a panoply of options. We've had people come in and look through the store and say, oh, I didn't know you did audio, or what's ceramic coating? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
And it gives us time and an avenue for which we can explain these processes. And many times, if they don't upsell at that time, if they don't buy something else, they'll come back. Tint World is not only automotive, it's residential, it's commercial, and it gives us a good scope to make our business multi-seasonal.
Charles is fantastic. I mean, he set up our phone system. I couldn't believe the CEO and owner is calling us doing the phone service, and you call him, he answers. I mean, I feel like he's very accessible, and he's super friendly and open, and I would have no hesitation calling him about anything, and it's genuine, and I think that's rare for a CEO with as much business and as many locations as he has, to be that accessible to the franchisees. So, and we came from a franchise system, which so we're familiar with him, and he's fantastic. He really is, don't you think?
So it speaks to 2 things. One, the support staff that Tint World has around him allows him the freedom to be able to engage in a more personable way. So if he really was responsible for all of these things, it would make it nearly impossible for him to actually engage in a personal level. So that speaks to the support staff and the quality there. But the person at the top, Charles Bonfilio, his fingerprints are on the whole company. Mm-hmm. So that style of doing business, that dedication to excellence, that personal, visceral, attachment to the product that you're doing and serving and selling, it comes through. And so you can tell that he is personally attached to this company, and that's perfect.